Grand Rising, everyone. It is Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. It is 08:15 hours in the morning. And we have massive code black, the highest level of alert news this morning. We're going to get to it shortly, though Russia sent in drones from 26 different directions into Ukraine last night. And around the same time, they send drones into Poland, which Poland is a NATO country, and it hit some areas in Poland. Russia did this intentionally and on purpose. Some people are thinking it was to test Article 4 and 5 of NATO. We'll get into that more shortly. I have some news from recent days, and then we'll talk further about the Article 4 situation, as Poland has invoked Article 4 now at this time. So this was from a few days or so ago. The Houthis, it was found out, I believe, cut some undersea cables, subsea cables in the Red Sea. So that disconnects a lot of communications and internet in areas such as Israel. I believe parts of Asia and India were affected as well. It slowed internet speeds in other areas besides Israel. So the Houthis in Yemen, that's the Yemen army. I don't know if it's the Yemen army proper. I forget. The Houthis are a major part of Yemen. They're one of the larger military forces that reside in Yemen. Around the same time recently, we had this huge news. I meant to come on here some days ago. It's been about 2 weeks since I've last been on here. Turkey says it will start full-scale war with Israel for the sake of Palestine. So Turkey has been on the fence for a while now. They've been indecisive between which side to choose, the East or the West. And it seems that Turkey is choosing the East when it comes to this now. Let's see what's going on here. I'm just looking at this video. Cover seems off. It's weird. It's really weird. This is initially a live stream recording. It's not edited. It is posted to YouTube shortly after recording. Let me see here. I gotta check the audio real fast and we'll continue. Gotta make sure the audio is going through for this video. Okay, it is. So Turkey seems to have chosen the East when it comes to the war between the East and the West. World War III, especially now, as it's certainly going on. This was very interesting news. The state of Texas, especially Governor Abbott, that's shown there, has officially banned the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, from owning farmland. The law went into effect on September 1st. This should have been a law a long time ago because the Chinese have bought quite a bit of land already over there. Uh, Hopefully, it's reclaimed by the state or something of that nature because there's a whole lot of land that has been bought in Texas by the Chinese. So that's great that they banned that. They banned the CCP and I believe other foreign nations from buying land in Texas. Now we have the upcoming war in Venezuela. The U.S. military, I believe I talked about this a little bit last time. There's a very large part of the Navy, the U.S. Navy, that's sitting outside of Venezuela. And the Chinese have bases there in Venezuela. As it says here, China has invested over $100 billion in Latin America. So China is warning the U.S. to avoid a war with Venezuela, or the PLA will defend Maduro with full force like Russia in Ukraine. So a more direct war with China might not start in Taiwan first. It's looking like it may begin when the US goes into Venezuela to fight the cartels there, and the current regime, the current Venezuelan regime, Maduro, is very much so connected to all of these cartels and the corruption and the evil things like that in Venezuela. So that's how the US is about to likely get into a very direct war with Venezuela, the cartels more, and the PLA. It's very interesting how that's unfolding. A little more recently, the U.S. just deployed 10 F 35 stealth fighters in Puerto Rico, sending a clear message to Venezuela. These jets can slip past radar and carry B-61 12 nuclear bombs, making high value targets, HVTs, vulnerable with pinpoint precision. Maduro knows the stakes are high. That's what he says. Uh, this move puts immense pressure on his military, key infrastructure, and personal security, showcasing the unmatched reach and power of the U.S. air power in the region. Yes, the F 35s are some of the most powerful and most advanced aircraft in the world. They do hold those B-61 nuclear bombs. They're very, very precise. Uh, they're nuclear capable. Not all of them are nuclear, though they're extremely precise, as he says, pinpoint precision. They have pinpoint precision and they're nuclear capable. The bombs that are carried on F 35s. B-61 12, I believe those are nuclear bombs. So, yes, the F 35s, they do carry nuclear capable bombs. So, that's very interesting. And 10 of them, that's millions and millions of dollars worth of F 35. and they're going to be used in Venezuela. And this is a very interesting demonstration of a bomb being deployed from an F-35. Extremely advanced aircraft. Not every country has them. The U.S. is one of very few that have F-35s. The U.S. and some other NATO countries do. It's not a very widespread aircraft. It's extremely advanced. Heavy emphasis on that. This is from the health ranger himself, a man I've learned from for years, right here. He said, gold is absolutely exploding. $3,640 and still driving forward. The dollar is collapsing like never before. And it certainly is. And that brings up, I'm not exactly sure how the economy is going to handle the further escalation and war, the more kinetic phases of it, of World War III. It's a massive expense. I'm not sure where all that money is going to come from. I don't know how they're going to fund World War III. Most of the world does not have money right now. They do not have many of these collapsing dollars. So, as I was saying earlier, Poland was directly attacked by Russia. So, moving on to this now. Russia was attacking Ukraine in a very big way last night. As I said, they sent in drones from over about 26 different directions. Ukraine was hit with about 900 drones from 26 different directions. It's about 900 drones total. They were deployed from about 26 different directions outside of Ukraine. The capital, Kyiv, was hit. Many other areas throughout Ukraine were hit by the massive drone strike that Russia carried out last night. Shortly after that is when they sent some drones into Poland. They hit some houses and other areas in Poland. NATO and some fighter jets, F-35s, and even some Polish F-16s went out to the drones that were in Poland. They shot down some of them. They shot down some of the Russian drones that flew into Poland. Though some of them did hit Poland, it was done on purpose. It was intentional. So Poland has now invoked NATO Article 4. It is now activated. So that calls the NATO alliance together, and they're going to make decisions, especially wartime decisions, since it was a total act of war from Russia. So much of NATO, potentially all of NATO, is going to support Poland because Russia attacked Poland. That is a NATO country, and one of the most powerful countries in all of Europe too. It's very not a smart idea on Russia's part. They could have tried the Baltic states first. Attacking Poland like that directly, which they've been preparing for a war with Russia for years. That's a very bad idea on their part. Poland is very prepared for a war with Russia. There was even German equipment trucks that were seen moving through Poland. So Germany brought some kind of special equipment to Poland that Poland did not have. Now let's talk about Article 4 and 5 a bit more. Article 4 is more of a collective defense. An attack on one member is considered an attack on all, triggering mutual defense. Article 5 is when members commit to assist an attacked ally with armed force if necessary, ensuring collective security. I will also say Article 4 is like a prerequisite to Article 5. So Article 5 is pretty much triggered shortly after Article 4. It might even be like automatic. It's an Article 4 is a small prerequisite to Article 5. So at this time, it's likely that NATO is talking more about Article 5. Article 4 also allows members to consult when one feels its territorial integrity, political independence, or security is threatened. It's about dialogue and coordination, not necessarily a military response. Grok says some interesting things. Article 4 is very much military related, and in a lot of ways, NATO is going to get involved in helping Poland. Germany and some other countries are also already supporting Poland since they've been attacked by Russia directly, as we just talked about. Article 5 commits members to collective defense, where an armed attack on one is treated as an attack on all, potentially involving military action, not specifically nuclear. Nuclear response isn't explicitly tied to Article 5. It depends on the situation and NATO's strategic decisions. Neither article explicitly mandates military or nuclear action. They focus on consultation and collective defense principles. So they are all going to go together, much like it's shown here, and talk about Article 4 and 5 and make strategic military decisions. I highly expect that Germany, France, the UK are going to deploy troops to Poland and maybe even Ukraine after what Russia just did to Poland with those drones. Even the airspace, the trespassing of these drones into the Polish airspace is a big deal. And even that could kind of trigger Article 4. So these drones didn't just fly through the airspace. They flew through the airspace and they hit targets in Poland on purpose. So we'll see how this further develops. This is of the utmost seriousness. This is a very scary time, scary moments, because it could go nuclear very quickly. It could go nuclear very quickly. Likely that all of NATO goes to direct kinetic war with Russia. We'll see how this unfolds further in time as the days go on. We're all going to find out very soon. I will be back soon with more information on this. I'm going to be watching this very closely. Um, really going to try not to make it 2 weeks. Hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow I'm back. Tomorrow or Friday, I'm going to come back with some more big news as this is further developing. Uh, Another thing is, I believe in the next hour, in the next half hour or hour, is when Marco Rubio is going to come out and talk about this. And Trump is being informed about what happened in, he's being briefed on what happened in Syria and this Polish situation. So we're possibly going to hear from Trump and Marco Rubio today, President Trump and Marco Rubio. So huge, huge news, huge developments. It's extremely concerning. People need to keep on preparing. That time is extremely short now. We're pretty much at the point of bugging out or bugging in. Those kind of decisions need to be thought about and made at this time. That's how serious of the time that we're in right now. So I almost forgot to touch on that. Israel sent in they did a airstrike into Qatar in Syria, and they were taking out Hamas members in Syria. So Israel hit a Hamas target in Syria, and now Syria is vowing to respond militarily against Israel. So Israel's at war with pretty much at war with Syria. That's a possibility. Turkey, it's a very strong possibility. Maybe even Lebanon still. Yemen, the Houthis there. Hamas. Israel's at quite a few wars. They're pretty much surrounded in that area. They're fighting wars on almost all sides. And let's not forget about Iran. Israel's definitely at war with Iran, and that is expected to kick off in the next few days or so. That could be in this week. I saw a post somewhere where Trump, I believe, warned Iran that Israel was going to attack in a few days without the support of the U.S. So some reason Trump wanted to stay more out of that. The U.S. will likely be dragged in more to the support of Israel. We'll see how that goes, though. So once again, though, I will be back soon with further updates, more information. Keep on preparing. Get physical assets together. I highly recommend food, silver, gold, land, ammunition, things like that. All those things hold their value and they're extremely useful in the situation that we are now definitively going into. It's really starting to hit the fan now. It's very concerning. I hope to be back tomorrow and to see many of you, if not all of you, tomorrow or later this week. Love, light, and blessings to you all. I hope to see you on the next one and those after that.